the paddock with West Coast native Ron Pierce and top driver. Thank you so much for taking the time tonight to do a quick interview with us.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure.
You're a Hall of Famer, and I just did a little research on you. The last 10 years, you have won at least $10 million, if not more, every season. So talk to us about how this year's going so far for you.
This year is going very well, especially since we started qualifying the 2-year-olds last year back as 3-year-olds this year. They're the couple of that I was looking forward to are very good, and so that gives me something to look forward to for the rest of the year.
With so much success at this point in your career, do you consider this like the prime, the last few years and this year?
I'm probably I'm driving just as good as ever. I don't bounce as good as I used to. That's the only problem. I do have smiles on me. But I would say I'm kind of like in my twilight years right now, I guess. The next few years, I'll probably just tell off and then walk away. But I'm 54, going to be 55 next month. So and it's been great. It's been a great ride, and I've been very lucky with getting great horses to drive. And that's how I've made so much money every year.
That's what you've been attributing your success to then, the horses that you've been on.
Well, not only the horses, but I'm friends with some of the best trainers in the country, and I drive for some of the biggest owners in the country, and all these people they help me out every year, and with powerful horses and world champions, and I really appreciate having them as friends and being able to work with them.
Such a phenomenal career, but you have a timetable for yourself then.
Well, age is going to catch up to me. There's no getting around it. It's just something that happens. So, like I said, it's been a great ride, but nothing lasts forever. So I see myself now. I'm driving as good as I ever have, and I've been busier this year than I ever have. I've been pushing myself for some reason. I don't know why. I just have. But I see myself in my kind of more or less my twilight years now. Just things are going to start winding down, and in just a few years, there's some great drivers coming up, some young great drivers coming up. Like right here at Pocono, you have Matt McKaylee, and you have Tyler Bueller, you have Andy McCarthy. These guys are going to be taking my spot. It's just a matter of time.
So take us back. You had brought up young drivers. How did you get involved? And you're from California, so I guess share how you got your start.
Well, my dad used to ride quarter horses, race quarter horses, when I was a kid. And we used to race on the fair circuit where there'd be harness, like 3 races of harness horses, 3 or 4 quarter horse races, and 3 or 4 thoroughbred races, all on the same track in the same day. And then he got too big to where he couldn't keep his weight down. So I had an Uncle Mickey Toronto who was in the harness horse business, and my dad started working for him. And then he just, naturally became a driver. And when I was I wanted to be a jockey, but I knew I was going to be too big when I was about 7 or 8. So then I knew I'd be a driver. Yeah.
So you knew at that early age. So you originally intended to be a jockey, and then you switched over to being a driver in harness racing.
Right. I've seen what those riders go through, and unless they're really small framed, and I mean, those guys suffer to make the weight. I mean, they kill themselves, actually.
Great.
And I seen that at a young age, and I said, I'm not going to do this to myself, so I'll just be a driver.
I think you made the right choice there. A few years ago, you were inducted into the Hall of Fame. What does that feel like?
Well, it was quite an honor. It was something that happened to me that was beyond my wildest dreams. I never, in my wildest dreams, as a kid growing up, thought that I'd make it to the Hall of Fame. But I've just been lucky over the years with the good horses, and that's what you need to get into the Hall of Fame. You got to produce and make the money and do well. And I've been lucky to get the right kind of horses to do that with.
And colors, are they family colors that you wear?
No, the red, white, and my dad had red, white, and blue, light blue. I took Hervey's red, Hervey's blue, and Benny Webster's design, and just put my blue where Benny Webster's black was. and that's why I came up with my colors.
I always love hearing how people kind of develop them if they weren't, something that they handed down, how they kind of came up with that. That's really cool. Are there any big races that you really look forward to every year? I know you did really well in the Breeders' Crown, but any big ones out there that you can't wait for every season?
Oh yeah, yeah. First of all, the Hamiltonian is the race. It'll always be the race in my book. I've been fortunate. I won it 3 times, and looks like I might have a shot again this year. Um, the Little Brown Jug is a great race to win. Um, and then we have the Meadowlands Pace, the North American Cup. We have all the Breeders' Crowns races. Um, there's some very prestigious races out there that are a lot of fun to race in, and I look forward to them every year.
Any standout wins or a memorable win for you?
Oh, geez, I have so many of them.
I know, right?
I guess the one that pops up to my mind faster than anything else, the race that I had the most pressure on me with was a horse I was driving. His name was Blissful Hall, and he won the cane, he won the jug, and now if he wins the Messenger, he would have been he was going to be a Triple Crown winner. So I think that race there, when somebody asked me what was your most memorable race, was that race, because I had so much pressure on me, and I didn't have to do anything. Ben Wallace had that horse so good that I just had to just not fall off. And as soon as he went under the wire, he just ran off. As soon as he went off under the wire, it was like the weight of the grandstand was lifted off of me. It was so nice.
So you kind of brought up the fact that horses are doing a lot of the work, but you have to do all the driving. So has your strategy changed over the years? Did you find something that kind of works for you?
You know what I've did over the years? I've just adjusted to the times. Things have changed so much in the style of driving since I started driving horses that I've just been able to adjust and drive along.
That's a really good key to success right there. Any other goals, anything you'd like to achieve still in your career?
I'd love to win the Hambo a couple more times, and the Jug a few more times, and Meadowlands Pace, and the North American, and all the major races. And several more Breeders' Crowns. I want to win them all again.
A few more notches in your belt. So we have some lightning round questions for you, just to find out a little bit more about Ron Pierce off the track. I understand that you're a hunter. Are you an outdoorsman?
I love to hunt and fish. Yeah.
So that would be a hobby for you.
Yeah.
All right. So
That's my escape.
what about your first job?
Horses.
First car?
First what?
First car?
1969 Chevrolet Impala.
Wow. I always ask people this question, but what color was it? Do you remember that?
It was a ugly, dirty, brownish gray.
Like rust?
It was a mess, but you know what? She got me there. I drove her around for about a year, and all I had to ever buy for her was an alternator. She was good to me.
Hey, she was faithful. There you go. What about your favorite food?
There's a species of deer that live on the eastern shore of Maryland called sika deer.
Okay.
That's the best meat I ever had in my life.
What's so good about it?
It's just so tender and so tasty, and I just love it. It's just appeals to me. I just love it.
Favorite TV show? What do you hate to miss?
I probably Discovery Channel, National Geographic. That's about it. Those are the only two I really watch. And
So even when you're inside, you're watching shows about the outside.
pretty much.
If you had an extra half an hour in your day to spend however you'd like, what would you do with that extra time?
Read.
Read. That's good. And idol, anybody that you look up to?
I look up to everybody. I live by the policy of if they show me respect, I'm going to show them respect. And it's taken me, all the way to where I am today. It's a good way to be, I think. I expect to get respect from people, and I give respect. So if I give it, I expect it back. If somebody shows me no respect, I don't show them any.
It's a great way to live, both professionally and personally.
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm.
Ron, thank you so much for taking the time. We appreciate getting to know you a little bit better. I'm going to have to try that deer meat that you're talking about.
They live on the eastern shore of Maryland, down in Dorchester County, most of them, and I go down there bow hunting, and I'll nail 3 or 4 or 5 of them a year, and fill up the freezer. And very good.
Very cool. I'm going to get more info about this. But thanks so much for doing the interview, and great luck this season.